because I have a universal type blood, O positive. Since there's a shortage, and they had the blood drive, I said, oh, well, might as well do it. And especially with this virus going around.
It's safe, and you could possibly save someone's life as well. So why not do it?
I attempted going to the Wilmington one last week. I was low in iron, which I know is common for a lot of women. So I've spent the last 2 weeks just pumping myself up with iron, and I hope I qualify today. We all should do our part, do what we can, whether it's staying home, whether it's wearing these uncomfortable masks, or whether it's donating blood. We all should do what we can to get through this together.
Parents all over SoCal have gotten a taste of what it's like to be teachers in the last few weeks. With the Safer at Home order happening so suddenly, it's no surprise that most parents were just underprepared. So if you and your child get stuck on a question, there is help out there. You can still ask a librarian.
Info Now is the department at the Los Angeles Public Library System that provides all of the Ask a Librarian services. So we are the principal contact for the Los Angeles Public Library System. Every library card that is issued has our number on the back with a little thing that says Ask a Librarian. And we answer questions from the public through phone, email, chat, text, fax, snail mail. Ask a Librarian's been around since 1998. It was originally created by Access Services for the purpose of answering the numerous telephone calls that we were getting at Central Library. And back in 1998, they had a little bit of internet access, but they actually had their own reference system that was designed so that they had books on hand to answer these questions.
What is the best way to contact you?
If you go to our website, which is lapl.org, you'll see we have a brand new webpage called Library at Home. And on the bottom of that webpage, there's a bright link that has my picture that says Ask a Librarian. And if you click there, it'll take you right to our email page where you can fill out the information and ask your question.
And how in-depth a question can you ask?
We have people who ask us all sorts of questions. We don't set parameters on that page on what kind of questions we can ask. There are limits to what we can answer, just because of we don't want to give you opinions, we don't want to give you misinformation. Sometimes things are more complicated than a simple answer. On our website, it says that we answer questions within 36 to 48 hours, Monday through Friday. But there's no limit on when you can submit your question. So you better believe that we get questions that are submitted at all hours of the day. The website is lapl.org. That's our initials, Los Angeles Public Library.org.
Council members representing Districts 10 and 12 were also on the move on behalf of their residents this week. Councilmember John Lee took time to shed light on the importance of small business loan relief. And Councilmember Herb Wesson sat down with Anita Bennett to bring attention to the potentially negative effects that reopening too soon could mean for communities of color.
San Carlo Deli is like our Cheers. They know everyone's name. They make you feel like family, and we're just so happy, to help a business like them that is really a staple of our community. And so we're just very happy to be able to be here and present our first Angel Fund check to San Carlo Deli. So. The key about John and his team is that they put the resources into the front lines. I said, I'm ready to fund all the businesses, the small businesses in CD12 that are operating. We've done 32 loans to date, and we started April 23rd. The average loan is probably in the $12,000 range. We can provide no interest loans quickly. If they pay back this loan, we actually let them keep 25% of whatever's remaining on their balance.
Every penny that gets repaid just goes back in the community. So you're basically paying it forward just by paying the loan back.
I got sick March 21st. I was quarantined for almost 30 days, and I didn't see my kids, I didn't see my wife, and one of the major things was you were wondering whether you're going to get to see your family again.
40% of Americans can't come up with $400 in an emergency, whether it's a car breaking down or getting sick and not being able to pay the rent. If you're not going to step up now, then when?
I know people more than ever know that this is a time that they need to give.
I'm willing to go all in with as much money as it takes to save the businesses of this city. What a perfect place to start to give money to somebody that I personally have had their food. This is my favorite food for tailgates before a UCLA game. I'll give that a plug. Anyway, I pray that this is the beginning of a new chapter for you guys, and we're here for you.
Today we're talking about COVID-19 and communities of color. City Councilman Herb Wesson has recently released an informative new video that talks about who can be hurt if we reopen LA too quickly.
People have demanded their freedom. Freedom to go to the beach, freedom to get a haircut without any regard for the people who will be most affected by this. A long history of unequal access to health care has left Black, Latino, and the working poor in a position to be disproportionately killed by this virus.
Joining us now is Councilman Wesson. Thank you so much for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Yeah, excellent. Well, tell us about this video and why you made it.
I think that in this business, the most important thing that we can do as public servants are to push and create conversations. It is important that we reopen, but we need to do it in a very smart and informed way. So I want to ensure that we are talking about this, the effects of reopening.
Let's talk about some of the reasons behind this.
The science is what drives us. And the science indicate that individuals that have pre-existing conditions are more at risk. And when you look at certain communities of color, you see that there are hypertension, obesity, diabetes. I guess that could be attributed to a broken public health care system that doesn't do a very good job where it relates to communities of color. And so we need to talk about all of this when we're talking about reopening.
What would you say to those protesters?
I get it. You know, most of them are good people and they want their freedoms, and God bless you. This is something that we in this country have never ever experienced before. It's nothing wrong with us beginning to reopen, but everything needs to be based on science, needs to be based on medicine. And I don't believe that any of the protesters want to be in a position because of their actions where they make somebody